Okay, Ferris will sprint into base-to-base contact with Smoke. You can get there easily.
Alright. Compound will charge Bolt.
What? Come on, man, that wasn't a legal measurement at all.
What are you talking about? This is a widget. It's way better than your bendy tape measure.
Actually, you're both wrong.
Pat Van Value!
That's right, it's me, Pat Van Value, and I'm here to teach you about clean play and how to measure correctly.
Widgets are laser-cut measuring tools that can be highly accurate when used properly, and unlike tape measures, widgets are designed with miniature games in mind. Widgets come in varying shapes and sizes. The ones featured in this video are by Muson Minis and Frozen Forge. Before we get into how to use widgets, let's talk about the areas where tape measures fall short of being accurate. Carpentry tape measures, like the one shown, are designed to be placed flat against an object with the tongue overhanging the lip of whatever you are measuring. In miniature games, we can never really do this. As a result, there will always be a slight error in measurement. Now clearly, this doesn't matter when you have a 1/4 inch to spare, but when you don't, you should employ a widget. There are 3 main types of widgets. There are measuring sticks, which are the most basic type, and they are used to measure only one distance. There are multi-tools, which can measure up to 4 distances, and there are proxy bases, which are used to represent a model during a measurement without actually moving the model. Measuring sticks usually come in either 1 inch or 30mm wide variants, but I have seen them be very, very thin as well. To use a measuring stick properly, place one end in the front center of your model's base, then place it flush with the table with the other end where you would like the model to end up. Then lift the edge nearest your model and slide the model into the widget until the point on the base is touching the same spot it started from. It is important to measure to the same point on the base so that you do not gain any additional distance, and you should always lift the widget since sliding the mini along the side of the widget will also gain you extra distance. Multi-tools are useful widgets since they give you easy access to 3 to 4 of the most common measurements you use in your given game. Each side of the multi-tool is functionally a different length widget. The 3 most common types are 5x3x2x1, 6x4x2x1, and the 3x2x1. They are used in the exact same way as measuring sticks. You simply select the side with the corresponding measurement and repeat the steps for using a measuring stick. The final type of widget is the proxy base. Proxy bases come in 2 styles and a wide array of sizes. The 2 types of proxy bases are the standard proxy base, that is just a circle made of acrylic or MDF board that is the exact size of your model's base. And there are steppers that can be linked together to show the path a given model will take. Once you move a mini, it can be very difficult to put it back in the exact correct spot, and most competitive players would consider it a takeback. So instead, use a proxy base to check your important movements. When selecting a proxy base, always use one that matches the base size of the miniature you are using. To use a proxy base, simply measure from a model like you're going to move it, but instead of picking it up, place your proxy base down in the model's final location. Now that your proxy is placed, you can check other measurements to make sure that the base is exactly where you want it. Once you have settled on a final position for your miniature, you can do one of 2 things. Either place your miniature on top of the base, or hover it over the base and slide the proxy out before placing the model in its final location. Steppers are one of the newer widgets. They solve a very specific problem, moving around something. Measuring a tight turn is rather difficult in miniature games, so people bend their tape measure to achieve this goal. This is a terrible way to measure. It fails to account for the size of the model's base and will allow you to move the model farther than the game would normally allow. Steppers function very similarly to proxy bases. To use steppers, place the first stepper touching the miniature you would like to move. Then place the rest in a sequence touching each other along the path you want the model to take. Finally, place the miniature on the last stepper as if it was a normal proxy base. Thank you so much for watching my widgets video. I hope it's helped out your play. This project has been 3 months in the works, and I would not have been able to do it without Guild Ball Zone and the entire Chicago meta helping out. Otherwise, I will see you in 2 weeks for another episode of Run the Length.